Motown built its reputation on joy. Its records sparkled with youthful romance, bright hooks, and dance floor energy that became the soundtrack of the 60s. But in 1967, a single stood apart from the label's trademark optimism. I Wish It Would Rain by TheTemptations was something else entirely. Instead of sunshine, it brought sorrow. Instead of joy, it carried anguish. And behind that anguish was a true story so tragic that the record feels less like a song and more like a cry for help. At the center of the story was a young Motown staff writer named Rodger Penzabene. He was described by his peers as quiet, humble, and deeply in love with his wife. Earlier that same year, he had helped write You're My Everything, a glowing love song that captured his happiness. But not long after, his world collapsed. He discovered his wife was having an affair, and the betrayal shattered him. Rodger began pouring his grief into music, creating what became an unintentional trilogy of heartbreak. The first was I Wish It Would Rain, a desperate plea for the sky itself to conceal his tears. The second was I Could Never Love Another After Loving You, a confession that, even after betrayal, his love remained. These were not just songs, they were his diary. 10 days after I Wish It Would Rain was released in December of 1967, Rodger Penzabene took his own life on New Year's Eve. He was only 22 years old. He never lived to see the song climb the charts, never knew it would become one of the Temptations' defining moments, or that it would resonate across generations. His words, written in despair, became his final testament. The lyrics alone carried devastating power, but producer Norman Whitfield understood that they needed space to breathe. Instead of dressing the song in Motown's usual polish, he stripped it back. The arrangement opens with a stark piano and a lonely tambourine, leaving room for David Ruffin's voice to command attention. Ruffin was pushed into a higher key than he was comfortable with, and the strain gave his vocal delivery a pleading, almost unbearable quality. His voice cracked and stretched, not in weakness, but in authenticity. He wasn't just performing, he was channeling something raw, perhaps even reflecting his own personal struggles at the time. The heart of the song is its metaphor. A man so broken by loss that he wishes for rain, not because he welcomes the storm, but because raindrops will hide his tears. In one line, Penzabene captured the crushing weight of grief and the pride that refuses to let it be seen. The narrator does not want to explain his sadness because, as the lyrics suggest, a man ain't supposed to cry. This turns the song into something larger than heartbreak. It becomes a commentary on masculinity, on the burden of hiding pain, and on the human need for camouflage when emotions overwhelm us. For the Temptations, the song marked a turning point. I Wish It Would Rain became a hit, reaching number 4 on the Billboard Pop chart and number 1 on the R&B chart. But it was also the last breath of their classic era. It was the final major release with the celebrated 5-man lineup before producer Norman Whitfield shifted their sound into psychedelic soul with songs like Cloud 9. For David Ruffin, it would stand as one of his last great performances with the group before tensions and addiction pulled him away. The song's influence didn't end with its chart success. Over the years, it became a standard of soulful lament, covered by legends such as Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Gladys Knight, Tina Turner, and even Bruce Springsteen. Each artist brought their own take, but none could escape the shadow of David Ruffin's anguished delivery. Springsteen himself once admitted, "You'd be crazy to try and sing that after David Ruffin." That statement alone shows how untouchable the original performance remains. And yet, what gives the song its timeless power is not just Ruffin's voice or Whitfield's production, but the truth behind the words. They came from a young man who could not survive the weight of his heartbreak and who left behind a song that carries his pain into eternity. I Wish It Would Rain is more than a Motown hit. It is the sound of a life unraveling. It is a reminder of the fragility behind the glamour of pop music. and it is a song that continues to resonate with anyone who has ever wished for the storm to come just so their tears could be hidden from the world.